Hi, this is John from NYC Geek Society, and today I'm going to be talking about the new trailer for Terminator Dawn of Fate. So, this is the sixth Terminator movie, and this one's going to star Mackenzie Davis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's going to have the grand return of Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Now, it's also going to be directed by Tim Miller, who was the director of the Deadpool movies. So it seems like it's got a great cast. Seems like it's got a great director, although I'm not sure yet if he's the right director. I've only seen Deadpool, which for all the movies that he's made, and that was more of a comedic affair than I would think that Terminator would really want to be. But long story short, I watched the trailer and I'm not, upset or anything, but I'm also not impressed. If you're a Terminator fan, you know that this series has had a lot of downs over the last decade or so. And I was just hoping for something that would be a bit deeper. Because basically, in my opinion, the best Terminators, which are really the first and second one, have three main factors that go into it that make it as good as it is. Number one, there's this horror aspect to it, that our characters are being hunted by a virtually unstoppable force. Number two, there's a lot of action scenes, or even if there's not a lot, they're pretty big and interesting and, get your heart pumping. And number three, there's a lot of philosophy and depth of, humanity and, can we change our fate? Can you change the future? And the way the characters might struggle with that. In the first movie, Kyle Reese is really the main one struggling with that, since he's a human that traveled back in time to, try to make sure that John Connor survives in order to hopefully bring forth the end of the war. And then in the second movie, it's really Sarah Connor, where she kind of plays an almost mythological role of, it always reminded me of the myth of Cassandra, who is given this ability to know the future, but the more that she tells people, the more crazy they think that she is. Not to mention in, Terminator 2, she's also a mother, and so she has to be very hard with her son, in order to make sure that he's a soldier who survives, but she loves him, and there's that struggle there. So it's about what makes us human. It's about fate and destiny, and it's got these great action scenes, and it also is almost a bit of a horror movie as well. And those were four things. But the last few movies captured maybe some of those things, but not all of those things. Terminator 3 had a lot of action, but it pretty much first of all undid what happened in the second movie, where now there's just a new date for Judgment Day, which is depressing. But they don't really even dig that far into it. And then Salvation, I think wanted to go for a grittier, darker future, but it didn't have that great of action. And basically every single one of them, Genesis was just a mess. Just hasn't really hit the mark. And from what I could see from this trailer so far, at least, is that they might have that action down, but I don't see any real depth to it. I don't really see the characters struggling, but maybe that's for a second trailer. But I'm kind of I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm just kind of at the point of wait and see. But really, I wonder, do they really need to continue this franchise? The closest that they got to making something good after Terminator 2 was the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I personally loved. But I guess the massive audience wasn't really up for a Terminator TV series, so it wasn't really a success, and it got canceled after 2 seasons. So I don't know. Is it time to just let the Terminator franchise die? Are you excited for this sixth entry in the movie series? Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe if you like what you've seen. And tell your mom, tell your dad, tell Sarah Connor, fate is what we make. And NYC, geek out.